How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Software Inc., welcome back to Nerdresoft, and welcome back to Hard Mode. I think I got those things out of order. I think I usually do Hard Mode second, but welcome back to all three regardless. So I've been thinking a little bit about where we are right now with Nerdresoft. Now, obviously, we have our first project management task going ahead, and we're designing Roaster Coaster World, which is due for release in February of 2007, which is just under 3 years away. That seems a little too far away for my liking, and it got me thinking about what we should do and how we should go about getting releases out of Nerdresoft. And what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use these two floors, this one here and this one right here, and I'm going to turn those into game development spaces. What are you doing? What are you doing? Who are you? Rocco Mayer is going back. Okay, interesting. I'm not sure why. that's someone that's really antisocial and just doesn't like people. But regardless, I want to use these sorry, that's thrown me off a little bit. I can relate. I want to use these spaces for some development teams. I want to make some dedicated game development teams, and I'm not 100% sure if we necessarily have enough space to do this efficiently, but I want to give it a shot. I want to see if it's something we can do. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to manage my teams, and we're going to do Game Dev 1, and we're going to add that team, and we're going to make it, let's go for, I'll tell you what, we have a lot of yellow. Let's go for green. Let's go for sort of a teal-ish color instead. So something like that for game dev. And in terms of HR management, we'll go for a budget of $5 million. We're going to handle wages. We're going to handle complaints. Role selection is going to be interesting. Role selection's probably going to be hired for, I guess. What is active task specs? Your leader will automatically pick which specializations to prioritize for hiring and education based on the team's active tasks. Now that, I want to say that's new, but I'm not actually sure if it is. I've never paid enough attention to this to know if it is, but that's actually quite important, and I like that a lot. Education is going to be up there. We're going to say educate 10 of them at a time. That should be fine. And I believe if we just click in the background there and select all the furniture, it's going to be 14 programmers, 14 designers, 14 artists. And then specializations are going to be systems, 2D, 3D, audio, and network. Since it's going to be a game dev team, we don't need hardware. And then the trades, of course. Fast learner. We don't want anyone that's sick. We don't want anyone that's going to track in more dirt. And we don't want people that are going to break their computer. In terms of salary, it's going to be nice and high, and I think that's okay. I think that's pretty good for a game dev team. So we're going to copy that, and it's going to be Game Dev 2. So we're going to have these two game dev teams, and what we'll do is select these spaces, and we're going to switch it out for Game Dev 1, and then going upstairs, we're going to go to Game Dev 2 right up here. So that's both teams sorted out with some space, which has actually been assigned. Now what we want to do is select these rooms and limit the usage to designers. We want to select this room and limit usage to programmers. This room and this room are going to be for the artists, and then right here is going to be for the team leaders. So that is everything pretty much set up except for the meeting rooms, which I totally forgot. So Game Dev 1 right there, and Game Dev number 2 is going to be right about there. So now we just need some team leaders, and we just need to get ourselves some projects. So as these guys go ahead and start hiring people to their teams, I've gone ahead and set up 2 more automated tasks, and you can see them on the right. We have strategy game and we have shooter game, and they are essentially set up in exactly the same way. So shooter game has Sophia Coleman, leading that project, with the design team and dev team being Game Dev 1, and then Strategy Game has Joe Morrison and Game Dev 2. So essentially, what I'm going to do is we're going to design ourselves a new game. It's going to be a first-person shooter. And in terms of how we're going to do this, we're going to go for multiplayer. We're going to go for customizable character. We're not going to go too crazy, though. I want to keep this relatively, well, not basic, but I want to keep it realistic is what we're going to go for here. So it's going to have an advanced 2D HUD. It's going to have shadows. It's going to have facial animations. It's going to have adaptive music. And we could go for perhaps recorded dialogue. Ooh, that does... I don't want to waste too much interest. It's not going to be an MMO. Maybe a little bit of post-processing just to make things kind of fancy. Or we could go for dialogue trees. Or we could go for VR if we really wanted to. We could go for cutscenes. I think, honestly, we'll go for... We can optimize this to be 94% expected interest. I'm honestly okay with that. And in terms of pricing, we're going to do $59 right there. We'll keep it relatively simple. It's an original IP. It's going to be running on... It actually doesn't really matter what it's running on, but we'll set this stuff up anyway. And in terms of a name, Hell Fortress. Ooh. Oh, I like that a lot. Hell Fortress. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. We'll call the framework Hell's Gate is what we'll go for there. That is pretty good. I'm very, very pleased with that. I've got to be honest. That is kind of fantastic. Now, annoyingly, in terms of the tech level, nothing in here currently has the tech level that I'm looking for. Bucket Red is going to be the closest. 3D editor is going to be Morph 3, and the audio tool is going to be Soundscape. In terms of operating systems, we're going to go by release date, and we're going to go, I suppose, actually, by active users, which is going to be Lion Slim 3, and we'll throw these two operating systems in there as well. I don't know if any of this matters when I go to throw it into project management, but I'm willing to give it a shot, and now we project manage this under Shooter Game. And I have a feeling it's going to be in that phase for a while whilst Sophia Coleman gets things going. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead and get music going because things are feeling very, very lonely. But let's go ahead and do the same thing with a game, and it's going to be a real-time strategy game. And so with a consumer reach of 5.19, essentially 5.2 million consumers, an expected interest of 94%, an estimated development time of approximately 2 years, our real-time strategy game is going to be given to project management under the strategy game category, and I think you're going to like the name of this one. It's going to be Commander Stabby Face. So we'll go ahead and let those just go ahead, essentially, and we'll see how things go. I'm not expecting any miracles. It is going to take a little while for these guys to go anywhere, really. But the good news is that with a bit of time, we will absolutely get somewhere with this. And I'm just curious to see, I suppose, how we do and roughly when these things are due to go out. The development time is 130% versus the 150% that we're giving to Roaster Coaster. So we are going to be looking at a bit of a distance on these guys. I suspect that they are going to be coming out. It's currently 2004. I'm willing to say 2009 for both of those. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens with those. But in the meantime, what I would like to do is prioritize some of these updates down here. So let's go ahead and prioritize fixing bugs on Vapor 4. And while they're doing that, maybe we should start working on a new bucket. That might not be a bad idea. So let's start a new, let's see, sort by release date. Let's I mean, really, it is Bucket, it is Morph, Soundscape, and Roaster Coaster that has us going right now. If we look at the archives, I mean, Sniffer, we could try and make a successful antivirus software, but I think we'll stick with what we know for now. And we'll go for Bucket Red, straight into Bucket Green, actually. We'll go red, green, and then blue for Bucket right here. In terms of frameworks, if we sort by release date, I think, didn't we use NSBK 94? I think that's our previous one, which, I mean, the tech level is going to be way outdated on this, but that's honestly okay. I'm not too worried about it. And I suppose what we can do is, we have all of this stuff in here already. It's all tremendously, tremendously useful. Let's throw drawing tablet. Ooh, drawing tablet support brings us up quite a bit. That's a lot of wasted interest. Brush, stroke, smoothing, everything. It's going to bring us up to an ETA of about 2 years. So let's get the healing brush in there. 100% wasted interest, but we'll go for the healing brush. It's going to be one new thing, and that's fine. The price on this can be $69, and we'll go to next page and look at some operating systems. And what we'll do for this is those top 3. Onto the next page, we can auto balance just a little bit. And I don't know who can lead this. What have you ever done for us? Soundscape, okay. What has Brian done for us? Bucket Red, yes. Brian, you are going to be leading up Bucket Green. And the teams on this can be very, very simple because it is just 2D graphics. So these guys and systems. So nothing too crazy for this. Development teams are going to be the same thing. So 2D and systems. And that is about everything we need. Publisher is going to be me. So we'll go ahead and start developing that. As for Morph 3, we can go sort of the same direction. It'll be Morph 4. And we'll just sort of add another thing to it. We're not going to go too crazy with it. Expected interest is already 100%. Wasted is 79%. So a little bit of mesh subdivision, perhaps. And what about some Boolean operations in there? And then we get into the 2-star stuff on Morph 5. And I think that's probably fair enough. I don't think we need to go too crazy. We'll make it $99. And the framework is going to be, I guess, NS Morph, which is horribly, horribly outdated. I don't know that I love that, but we can bring NS Morph up to date a little bit, I suppose. And that's probably fair enough. So yeah, Morph 4. We'll go to the next page, and this guy is going to be on, I guess, those 2 operating systems. That's probably fair enough. We can auto balance a little bit, and this one is 3D and systems. So instead of the 2D team, it's the 3D team, and it's the same down here as well. So that's going to keep the systems team very, very busy, but that's okay. And Barney Cole, what have you done for us? You have done all of the Morph projects. So absolutely, Barney is going to be developing this one for us. So that's those in the works. As for Soundscape, I mean, it did make money. And I suppose it is something else we could be working on, but I'm pretty sure it's going to give my, it is going to give my systems team and my 2D team a little bit more work, which is interesting. That's very, very interesting. Okay, let's use an existing framework. Soundscape engine is fine by me. Those tech levels need to come up a little bit. And we're looking at about a year right now, which is fine. 85% interest. Let's just throw... No, I don't really know. What about effect plugins or delay and reverb, a little bit of auto-tune? We'll just throw a couple of things in here for Soundscape 2, and it is just going to be Soundscape 2. I'm not interested in going too crazy with this one. We'll make it $90 flat, I think. That's probably fair enough. And I suppose we will have it on the source, so we'll keep going. The 2D tool on this is annoyingly Bucket Red unless we go and update it, but I'm not going to bother doing that. And then we'll just run it on those 3 operating systems as we have been doing. I imagine they'll be outdated by the time this comes out, but that's fine. And the lead designer on this, can I find the lead designer for the original Soundscape? I'm pretty sure we did see their portfolio at one point, but they don't seem necessarily available. So we'll go for Booker Pierce. who has good skill when it comes to this kind of thing. So Booker, you are going to be leading this up. And then this is going to be systems, 2D, and audio on this one, which is going to keep, it's going to keep that systems team and the 2D team quite busy, which is a little bit concerning, but I'm sure we'll be fine. It's about a year of development. Honestly, I might throw one or two more things at this just to, I don't know, just to bring it up to approximately 2 years, maybe amp simulation or a synth in there. That's the more red this gets up here, the closer to 2 years it's going to be. So we'll throw a synthesizer in there and we'll develop that as well. So at this stage, we have 6 different pieces of software in development, which, I mean, they're a ways away from coming out. It's going to be a while before any of them see the light of day, but honestly, that's okay. I'm just glad we have some things that are finally going to be getting worked on. Now, interestingly, Hell Fortress has entered its design phase. It'll go into alpha in May of 2005, and it's aiming for July 2007 for a release. Ooh. Okay. I wasn't expecting July 2007, but that puts it not long after Roaster Coaster World, which is quite a big deal. And then the strategy game is not currently in any phase whatsoever. It's still queued up right now, so we might be waiting just a little while for Joe Morrison to do anything with Commander Stabby Face, which I'm hoping means that Commander Stabby Face might get a really good lengthy development time, because I want it to be good. I'm gonna be honest. I really do. I want Commander Stabby Face to be good. It has a pretty long legacy to, I suppose, live up to across the multiverse of Software Inc. I think Sergeant Stabby Face is one of the first, it's one of the first, I guess, franchises that I ever sort of thought of in the Software Inc. world. So, and that's going back a while. That's going back, 7 years, I want to say. I want to say something like 7 years, 5 years. I think it's 7. I'm pretty sure it's 7. And I'm pretty sure that's back when I was doing those fake E3 presentations. Ooh, it has actually just moved into here. Next phase, July, releasing in September. Wow. Okay. We have 3 games lined up to release in 2007, I think. Well, they're not actually scheduled, but they are, yeah, they are, they exist. That is slightly terrifying, I've got to be honest. Now, let's take a look at my releases very quickly. What is the most recent? The most recent is Bucket Red. Let's go ahead and prioritize Soundscape 2 in terms of development. And that's going to put my 2D team and my systems team more so on that than Morph or Bucket Green. And the reason I want to do that is because Soundscape, out of the 3 that we're developing, is the one that had a release the furthest from now. Essentially, Soundscape was February 2002, Morph 3 was December 2002, Bucket Red is the most recent in March of 2002. So we'll try and release them, I guess, in that same order. So Soundscape, Morph, and then Bucket is what we can do there. I don't know how possible that's necessarily going to be, but I think it's worth giving it a shot and seeing what happens there. I'm also thinking it might not be a bad idea to finish that Morph update and finish that Soundscape update so that we can go to Bucket Red and actually update the systems and the 2D in here, because I think that's going to be a very good idea. These guys are missing a level 1 2D artist. Interesting. Okay, so we'll throw the 2D team at this. We'll put it on the source, and we'll try and prioritize this update over everything else so that Bucket Red can start to be used in other things, and that'll let me go ahead and update Soundscape and Roaster Coaster 3D online as well. So we'll get that update out. We'll hope that it, you know, brings some sales with it as well. I mean, Bucket Red's still doing tremendous amounts of money. We're above $205 million right now. It's not like we're struggling for money and sales, but more would be nice, I'll be honest. It did actually drop off a little. Well, it dropped off because it's a new month, I suppose, but regardless, I want it to do well. Of course I do. It's my it's kind of our flagship product right now, alongside well, everything. We're really only, honestly, Nerdrosoft does nothing but release certified bangers at this point, so let's release that update, and I'm never gonna say that again. And let's go and sort out Morph as well. And actually, Morph is fine. Morph's doing okay. Soundscape, on the other hand, bring its 2D and bring its audio up to date, and use Bucket Red to do a lot of that. So we're gonna use the 2D team, and we're gonna use the audio team on this one, and we'll go ahead and get that updating as well. So let's prioritize that. We'll see how that goes. Roaster Coaster, we can go ahead and finish that update. And I suppose once Soundscape is updated, we could probably go and update Roaster Coaster 3D Online as well. Now, while that's going on, let me have a look at the companies and let's see where we are. So we are right here. If I sort by worth, we're still relatively middle of the road, which is a little frustrating. It is a little bit frustrating. Admittedly, in terms of products, oh no, we're up there. We're definitely up there. That's disappointing. Okay, well, fair enough. What's this deal we've got coming in? Oh, we got some print jobs. December 2004, 310,000. November 2004, 600,000. June 2005. I think we could probably do all of these. I'm willing to give this a shot and see what happens. I don't know if I'm going to make much money from it, but we will. Oh yeah, there's all the boxes going out, and I'm pretty sure that by morning, are we being robbed? No, we're not. An employee has to pee and can't find a toilet. They're hungry. They're stressed by working too many tasks. Let me guess. Systems team. Yeah, that systems team's having a rough time. We might honestly need a second systems team. Now that I think about it, it might not be a terrible idea to try and get a second systems team in here to just take over some of the other things that we have going on. It really might not be a bad idea at all. But for now, let's finish that Soundscape update. Let's go to Roaster Coaster, and we'll bring the audio and the 2D up to scratch, which is going to be Bucket Red and Soundscape right there. We have 12 bugs, and so what we can do is 2D audio fixers and other guys can go ahead and work on that. And then looking up here, we're hopefully going to see a little bit more money come in off of everything that we are updating. That's the goal anyway. Also, a tremendous amount of boxes going out, which is great. I'm hoping. Yeah, looking at this, I think we're going to be okay in terms of those contracts, those deals that we struck up. I think we're going to be fine. So while I've been sitting here, just sort of passing the time, I've kind of just been staring at these hallways and corridors and all that stuff, and just noticing how dull they really are. So I want to go ahead and get some decorations for them. I want to make them just a little bit more pleasant to look at. So I think just some art right along these sections of the hallways here. We can change that out for a computer, that one out for a cat, and maybe this one out for a cat as well. And then down this way, we could, I don't know, we could probably just do more art, to be quite honest. We can go for something there and something there, and we'll do the same on this side as well. And I think what we'll go for is cat and computer, and we'll go for a computer right here and a cat right about there. And that should help out those spaces just a little bit. As for the rest of it, I mean, I'm not really sure. I'm also going to point out that this shadow on the wall here is coming from this door, which is, I've said it before, but this game's lighting is so good. It's so much better. It goes so much harder than it really has to. It is kind of wild. Now, we have all this space right here as well. So what if we go for, I don't know, a nice trio of pictures right here. We'll go for the tree, we'll go for the computer, we'll go for the cat, And then around here, I guess we could, well, over here, we can sort of do the same thing. So we'll go for same order, but just sort of in reverse. We'll go for cat, we'll go for computer, we'll go for tree. And this space now has 200% environment, which is lovely. But I'm thinking I also want to change it out for, I don't know, maybe some bright yellow. Oh, that's a bit much. That's, that's giving me a bit of a headache looking at it. We could go for a green screen if we felt like it. I'm kind of feeling, I don't know, I'm kind of feeling that blue, but with those elevators and that color, I don't know about it. I don't hate the I don't hate that blue. It just, I don't know, it just makes it pop a little bit better, you know? It's just a little bit more pleasant than it previously was. So that might be something I want to do on all of these floors, to be quite honest. What if we select all of these corridor spaces and we just go and say, you know, paint the interior that same sort of blue color. And honestly, it does lift the place a little bit. It does make it a little bit more pleasant. Now, admittedly, we probably do want to get some art across here, and we probably want to get some art in these upper floors, but I'm not really super stressed about that. I think my priority at the moment is, well, kind of getting everything done. You know, getting Soundscape through its iterations, getting Morph into further iterations, Bucket, and all of these games. It is a little bit weird that we're kind of going to be sitting around for essentially 2 years, probably about 2 years, not releasing anything. We might get Soundscape out in maybe 2006. What are these complaints? An employee has to pee but can't find a toilet. How? What do you mean you can't find a toilet? I mean, I guess I really should get a proper fire escape in here, huh? That is that is something I really should get my hands on. Although what I could do is I could turn this space into another set of bathrooms if I really wanted to, because it's not going to be used. It's not assigned to anybody. It does have some people in there, but it's opposite the systems team. So maybe that's what we do. Let me go and select all furniture in that room and just delete it. And can I, by any chance, just go to build mode and copy that room? It is going to let me do that. Okay, well, in which case, let me copy all of these toilets. Let me just do this and do... Okay, so not quite. Can I copy this one? Yes, I can do a few of these. Okay. Can I copy this one? Yes. I might have to copy these one at a time, but this is fine by me. Oh. No. Now, wait a minute. That's going to mess up the pattern on the outside of my building. And, yeah, I do care. I do care that much about the pattern of windows on the outside of my building. So, yeah, that sucks. I guess we could do some toilets up here. That's always an option. Do some toilets right on the top floor. I suppose we could do that, right? We could. There's no reason there's not really any reason we couldn't. So let's do that. Let's take that out. Let's take that out. And what we'll do is we'll just put I guess some kind of corridor right through this space. So a wall right down here and a wall right down here. We can merge those spaces. It does look a little bit weird, but it's probably fair enough. We'll go ahead and just get some lights in here as well. And I guess we split this into a bunch of toilets. So we'll go for right here. We'll go for right here. And these are going to be sizable. They're going to be a fair chunk bigger than what we usually do for toilets in Software Inc. But that's honestly fair enough. And there we go. We have a bunch of new toilets up on the top floor of the tower. I'm not really 100% sure that it's going to help us out all that much, because I think part of the problem is that employees are getting stuck at the elevators whilst trying to go and find some toilets. So once again, we might be in a situation where we happen to need to get some stairs into this tower, and I am going to continue to be quite stubborn about that. Although, I'll be honest, I could probably get like a fire escape right into the middle where the table is. It's not a huge space, but I could probably get a little something in there. I really could. I'm looking at it, and I probably absolutely could. Let's, oh man, I'm gonna regret this, but let's do this. Let's grab you. Let me grab these tables, and let me do that. And I'm just curious. I'm not necessarily going to do this, but essentially, could I, if I wanted to, get a fire escape in here? I feel like in a way, I probably could. So if I delete you and grab these guys and grab you, and then we go back down and we put this here, right? Could I guess I'm gonna have to get rid of you guys as well. This is obviously not final, right? This is obviously not what I would actually want to do here, but my thinking would be that, right? So you come up, you can kind of continue spiraling the entire way up the tower, and that would work. That does give us stairs between each floor. It's just a little bit hideous, so I'm not going to do that, but that is a way in which we could do that. And arguably, we could probably do it back here somehow, some way, if we really wanted to. Or we could just do regular staircases, sort of going, you know, each direction if we really wanted to. And that would probably help with the toilet problem as well. But I feel like stairs are not an efficient way to get people up and down a tower. I mean, they're not. They are. They're always there. You don't have to wait for them, but I don't know that my employees are going to appreciate having to go up 9 flights of stairs. You know, I have just come to realize something about these towers, and that something is that if I was to move these 2 vents right here to this end of the hallway, and then if I was to move these vending machines to, well, not there at all, and then if I was to go upstairs and do that same thing again, just by getting rid of the vending machines, and then go upstairs and do the same thing again by getting rid of the vending machines and moving the vents, I could then do this. I could do some stairs right there, and then go upstairs, rotate, and do this. And then go upstairs, rotate, and I can't do it because there's a vent in the way, but you get the idea. I feel like this is probably the easiest way that I'm going to manage to get stairs into these towers. Now, it is going to block some windows, but I feel like I feel like it might be worth it. I feel like this might be the way we have to go with this. So let's go ahead and move some things, and let's get rid of some vending machines. And in theory, this is now going to make it just quicker for my employee. Well, maybe not quicker, but it's going to make it possible for my employees to not be stuck waiting on elevators when they're, you know, really needing to pee. So we'll go ahead and just clear out every single one of the vending machines, and I guess sincerely hope that my employees don't get, oh no, I hope the stairs reach, oh, I hope they're in, I hope they're going to be on the right side. Let's get rid of you. And let's move these guys. We might have to work down with this now that I think about it. So let's give that a shot. So you're going to go there. And then these guys are going to go right there. And then going down again, you're going to go there. And these guys are going to go right there. Now, is this going to work? It isn't. We're going to have to change it up, and that's okay. we can totally do that. That's why we cleared everything out ahead of time. So all we need to do is go right here, and then we rotate this way a couple of times, and we go right here. And now my employees can sort of go whatever way they gotta go. And actually looking at it, we can get another vending machine into that corner, which is pretty great. Thinking about it, I could have done this slightly differently by having these stairs sort of face out the way. I feel like that would have been better, almost. Just if these guys were sort of facing that way, you know? Somehow that's better to me than the other way. And then I can still put a vending machine in that corner. And so now we have some stairs going between all of the floors. Can I paint the stairs? Ooh, I can. Interesting. Okay, well, I want to go and grab this color right here. And I'd like to select my entire building. I want to select the stairs and then all of the stairs in the building. And I want to paint them that color right there, because I think that looks pretty good. And it does seem like it's working to get employees between all the different floors. So that's pretty good. I don't think it's going to solve my issues with the fire inspector until I manage to get some stairs into this space, which admittedly should be relatively easy to do, because all I need to do, I think, is take out some of those parts and then just move this guy to maybe not about there, but right about there, I think might do it. Not 100% sure. What floor is this anyway? Oh, this might be slightly tricky, actually. Well, I say that. I'm sure we've got some, I'm sure somewhere we can get some stairs, right? Like this wall lines up with that wall. I'm sure that'll work. But for now, let's see how this is gonna go. So we want this guy. Oh boy, where do we want this guy? I don't know that this actually is going to line up. So you are right there. Oh, it isn't. Okay. Well, in which case, we'll just sort of leave things as they are. I'm not really tremendously concerned with the idea of getting people. I'm not really too worried about the fire inspection, to be honest. I just want my employees to be able to move from one floor to the other so they can get to the bathroom, which they're still slightly struggling with, which is kind of weird considering there's bathrooms here and some bathrooms here that they do seem to be using, but I guess we'll not worry too much about that. The long and short of it is that they are at least using the stairs. Oh, now this is interesting. As we've tipped over into January of 2005, Bucket Red sales have gone down quite a bit. We're still looking at maybe about $2 million in projected sales this month, but that's still a fair bit lower than it has been. Morph is down below $1 million for the first half of January. Soundscape is less than $250,000, and Roaster Coaster 3D Online is not doing very well either. So let's see if we can port these to any new systems, and it looks like we can. In fact, there's a lot of systems. Let's go for these 5 for Roaster Coaster, and then for Soundscape, I mean, yeah, there's a couple of systems right there. For Morph 3, what are we looking at? Yeah, another couple of systems right there. And for Bucket Red, we're going to be looking at, yeah, just PenOS 2 on Bucket Red. So that's a lot of porting. That's a lot of things to be doing. Let's focus on the Bucket port for the time being. In fact, I wonder if I was to assign just sort of everybody to this. I'm just curious to see how quick it might go. That is, yeah, that is actually sort of a good thing. I think we will just let everybody work on the Bucket Red port just to get it done as quickly as we can and try and get sales up there a little bit. In terms of the other pieces of software going to other operating systems, maybe we prioritize Roaster Coaster since, well, actually, no. Let's prioritize, let's see, 8 escape violations, 2 fire alarm violations, 678,000. I'm okay with that. It's less than $1 million. That's good for me. Let's prioritize the Morph ports, I suppose. once we're done with the Bucket Red port. In fact, no, we can prioritize that because it's the fixers and the other guys working on that, whereas everybody else is working on the Bucket Red port right there. And so we find ourselves in December 2005, which is an interesting time because 2006 is going to be another very busy development year for the company. We, of course, have Roaster Coaster coming out in February of 2007. We have Hell Fortress in July of 2007. And we have Commander Stabby Face in September of 2007. We also have Soundscape 2 ready to go into alpha, which could probably use some marketing, and I might play around with that. Once we get to maybe mid-2006, we'll see just what we're going to do in terms of marketing here. I think I am going to try and release this thing at some stage in probably 2007. Let's be quite honest. It's probably going to be 2007, but that's okay. But the reason I think December 2005 is so important is because if we look at Roaster Coaster 3D Online, it's been ported to everything. It's not making money, so we're going to end marketing for Roaster Coaster 3D Online. It has prominent marketing, but what's perhaps a little bit bittersweet about it is it made $58 million. It is, I believe, our most successful game. Yes, it absolutely is. In terms of the archives, Roaster Coaster was a failure. Roaster Coaster 2 was $22 million. Roaster Coaster 3D Online, $58 million. With Morph 3, by the way, $113 million right there. $1.2 million last month. It's still going. It's been 3 years for Morph 3. It took 5 years for Roaster Coaster 3D Online to get close to losing money. So I think 5 years of life for a roller coaster simulator is pretty good. And that actually has me thinking that what we might want to do with all of my games is have a look at our post-launch support, because currently the updates will continue for 3 years on Roaster Coaster. I'm going to make that 4 years. So for 48 months, every 3 months, we're going to put out an update. And by the way, I know I did ask on the last episode whether or not that's how that worked. I am recording this just before that episode goes out. Just before it goes out. So if I am wrong, I will look at the comments on that episode and we'll get this right. But what I'm thinking I'm going to do is the same idea for all of these. Right now, it's a 2-year cycle for this. I'm going to go up to 4, and I'm going to try and support my games for about 4 years after they come out, and we'll see if that maybe keeps maybe that keeps everyone nice and happy. Maybe that goes ahead and keeps us with some loyal fans and, I don't know, a good amount of money coming in, right? We're not automatically going to be building expansions, but we are, at the very least, going to be, I don't know, hopefully doing some good things there. Hopefully doing some very good things. Now, in terms of Soundscape 2, it is... Oh, we finished the printing job for Roaster Coaster World, which has come up by a considerable amount of time. It's now due to release in July 2006 rather than February 2007. Interesting. It's in beta. Not that many followers. Okay. That was unexpected. Wow. So we have 7 months essentially until Roaster Coaster World comes out. 7 months of beta is not a bad idea. But I think we wow. That is that was unexpected. I'm gonna be honest. That was really I didn't expect it to come forward like that. That makes me think that we're gonna see these other games come forward a little bit as well. I don't know that Commander Stabby Face is gonna come out of 2007, but I'd say there's a chance that Hell Fortress maybe moves to December 2006. I mean, this thing was brought back by like 7 months, so there's a chance. Although, admittedly, isn't Roaster Coaster being worked on by... Yeah. There's quite a few teams working on Roaster Coaster World. It is sort of the, it is the flagship gaming franchise for the company, so I suppose that's fair enough. I'll tell you what we'll do then. 1.2 million copies by November, we can totally do that. We'll go ahead and take that print job, and we'll also, I suppose, go ahead and leave it there for today, because 2006, it turns out, is going to potentially be a big year for the company. If Roaster Coaster World is terrible, that might be a problem. That very much might be a bit of a problem. But we'll leave it there for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Oh, that was a little bit more expensive this year. Eek. All right, well, we'll deal with that. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.